All right, guys, thank you for sitting through the presentation with me and taking the test. We're now going to review some of the skills that go along with the presentation for search and rescue. The things that we're going to work on inside are going to be 3 different types of drags, one by yourself, one with a partner, and then the third one's going to be a webbing drag. So I'm going to demonstrate some of the drags for you. The first one is the incline drag. The incline drag. We have the state required bullet points for your presentation. So you want to make sure that the victim is on their back. You kneel at the victim's head facing their feet. We want to make sure that we support the victim's head and neck and move them up to a sitting position. We move the victim up to a sitting position while kneeling behind them. And then we're going to put our arms around and through and grab each wrist. Oh man. And then we're going to stand up with the victim. We're going to drag them. We still want to support the head and neck back that way. And drag the victim. So we're dragging the victim on an incline drag. Make sense?
Totally makes sense.
Excellent. Put rest Randy back down here on the ground. All right. So next we're going to do a team drag. Can I get an assistant for the team lift? Bobby, thank you. So what we're going to do, Bobby, is have you be at the head of the victim.
Okay.
And we're going to have you face towards the feet. You're going to kneel behind the victim. Now you're going to support their head and neck and lift them into a sitting position. You're going to cross your arms underneath the victim's armpits and lock into their wrists. Mr. Randy's a little stiff here.
Give me his other wrist. Thank you.
There you go. And then the secondary lift team partner is going to kneel down here and grab the ankles. Make sure to leave enough room between you and the victim and your partner. And then on the rear lifting individuals count, we will lift and pick up the victim.
You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Up. All right. So we stand up and we carry the victim as so. All right. Thank you, Bobby, for your help. We can send Rescue Randy back down. Very good. All right. So now the third lift we're going to review for victim extraction is going to be a webbing lift. There are different versions of the webbing lift. There's the standard quick one that goes underneath the arms, back around underneath the head, and you just pull this direction with one big large loop. That's a very quick, efficient way to drag someone. However, a conscious victim is not going to tolerate that very well because of the pinch point and the wedge in the back can be very, very uncomfortable. It's similar to the style of webbing that's kind of built into the gear that we have for the quick deployment. That's, like we said, a very quick, very rushed dragging of an unconscious victim. Can use that quick development for that webbing drag. This webbing drag is also known as a hasty harness, and the one they requested for us to review is a hasty harness with handles. So what you do is you put a piece of webbing. It does state that it needs to be 20 feet around in length and then tied at the end with a water knot. You place the webbing around the victim, making sure that the arms are above the webbing and the loop of the webbing is around the entire victim. Some key points they also mentioned is that if you're doing this in an IDLH environment that is smoky and you can't see, you don't ever want to let go of your webbing. So obviously we're down here, we're open space, it's easy to lay down. But normally you're supposed to put your webbing down and have your hands on it the whole time, get it rolled out around them. So you have your webbing here. The first step is you're going to grab this loop at the feet and pull it up to the buttocks of the patient. Get this loop here. And then, keeping one hand on your loop, you're going to pull this guy underneath the armpits through here, holding on to the loop still. And you're going to use this to pull it up through the armpits as well. Up through the armpits. So then you grab your 2 loops from the armpits, drop your waist loop, and this is a hasty harness right here. The issue though is if you drag like this, look at your victim's head. That's not good, we don't want that. So now what you can do is keeping your hands on your loops and pull the victim up around the back, and now you've created handles to assist in dragging your patient. You want to Adjust the strap if you can. Obviously, if it's an emergency situation or you can't see, you're not going to be able to move it. But now we have a loop that goes through the groin across the chest, and now you have a two-handed harness to drag your victim. Everyone see how I did that? I demonstrate again to review. Again, like I said, if you Google search webbing drag, most of them are going to pull up that quick one around the shoulders. That, like I said, can be deployed very quickly. However, this drag is also called a webbing drag by the state material, but if you want to Google any YouTube videos or recommendations on this, it's typically pulled up under a hasty harness or a hasty harness with handles. So, try to do this one a little bit more accurate to real life here without letting go. So you deploy your webbing, keep your hands on it at all times, bring it around the victim, arms out, pull it all the way down to the bottom. Always having your hands on it. Then you're going to pull it up through the groin. Then you're going to pull the straps from underneath the armpits up through that groin loop. Then you grab onto those loops that you made, pull it tight, and then lift your victim to a seated position, supporting the head and neck. And then you're going to grab your loops and bring them back through. Never letting go of them because you're going to lose them if it's dark. Keeping your loops connected to your hands, head supported. Adjust this if possible, but not always possible. Then you have two loops to drag the victim. Any questions about that? All right, sounds good. Thank you, Brian.